Thank you very much. Senator Wyden.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Senator Grassley, I know, has got to go to another program, and I want to make sure that he understands how much I enjoy working with him, whether it's this or Finance Committee. Just know that we'll be working very closely together.
Hope springs eternal.
Hope springs eternal. Let's review where we are 2 hours into this, because I am struck by how much this resembles the debate we had in Oregon. And General Kroger, I know, can testify to the kinds of hearings. What would happen is law enforcement people, as we've heard in many respects again today with General Kroger, Mr. Shaw, come in, talk about why this is important, why the current systems haven't worked, and opponents come and advance what I call the parade of horribles about the extra cost and the inconvenience and the like. And in Oregon then, as we have sought to do today, we ask for hard evidence from the opponents, hard documentable evidence indicating that there would be problems if you go with the Oregon system. And they say, when we ask about one particular problem, they say, as Ms. Sudam just said when we asked about cost, she said, well, that's not really my concern today. My big concern is something else, which was the illegal kind of diversions. So I would just ask as we leave today that we continue to insist on hard, documentable facts as we get into this discussion. And what is now on the record that is hard and documentable is that the director of the Office of National Drug Control Policy has told us, A, he believes problems with electronic tracking, in his word, are legion. So he has made it clear what he thinks of the approach that's being advocated in Kentucky and by the pharmaceutical industry. And he has said there is no reason, based on his analysis, why the Oregon model wouldn't be successful. So those are hard facts on the record. I want to get into a couple of other areas where I think we can, again, have a debate about facts. Now, Sheriff Kane, you said on one of the key issues, the use of false IDs for smurfing, something that I think requires further analysis. You said, you asked, won't criminals use the same false IDs to obtain prescriptions for PSEs? Now, I listen to that and I say, sure looks to me like convincing a doctor to write a prescription based on a false ID is very different from somebody who's interested in criminal activity from presenting a fake ID to a store clerk at Walgreens. Do you disagree with that?
I wouldn't disagree with that, no, sir. But certainly I think that there is ample opportunity, as is demonstrated by people that doctor shop, obtain these prescription drugs by fraudulent use, and all the other aspects of what we deal with in the escalating problem of the abuse of controlled substances in our communities. I don't think
General
that would go away.
Kroger, have we seen any evidence of that in Oregon?
Senator, I asked that question yesterday of our team of experts on this, and the answer is that we don't have a single documented case where someone has gone to a physician and tried to obtain pseudoephedrine under false pretenses or using a fake ID.
I appreciate your clarifying that, General Kroger, and I want to be respectful, Sheriff Kane. I just think it is preposterous to say that the likelihood of physicians writing a prescription based on a false ID as part of a diversion strategy is the same thing as getting all these criminals who are presenting these false IDs. And I don't say that in a disrespectful way. I think that is based on the facts, and as General Kroger outlined, he has followed up on that. And I just don't think that the facts come close to suggesting it. Just a couple of other questions, if I can. Ms. Sudam, I'm anxious to work with you all. We've worked with you on a lot of issues, the health reform debate in particular. Give me your assessment of the point that Mr. Shaw made. Mr. Shaw made the point that electronic tracking in California has failed to prevent large volumes of PSE from being purchased by the smurfing rings. Do you have any again, hard evidence to suggest that Mr. Shaw is wrong.
Well, I certainly think that Mr. Shaw probably has the information that he has, but what I would suggest is that what would point out to you is California does not have a comprehensive electronic tracking system across the state. And therefore, what he's seeing is, in a very limited way, a system that's only tracking in certain stores. So you've got a very limited system in a pilot project in LA. This is not the same as an electronic tracking system across either the state or, in fact, across the country. I mean, what we can see from the advantages of electronic tracking is that the more states you have engaged in this, which is why we're proposing a federal electronic tracking system, you will have a greater coverage, and you will not have people moving from state to state to try to go around the system. In addition, if you choose to amend the Combat Meth Act, you will, I think, be able to deal with the false ID issue. We know that under the Netplex system, we will be able to identify false driver's licenses by directing back to against the state databases. And so you would, again, be able to find out people who are trying to game the system. The system continues to be evolving, it continues to get better, and I think the more states we have engaged, the better the system will be.
Madam Chair, this has been an excellent hearing. We've had thoughtful people on both sides of the issue. I just hope as folks walk out the door, they will reflect on the comments of Director Kurlikowski, because this debate has gone on for a considerable length of time. The states that are pursuing electronic tracking systems are seeing their labs go up. They are seeing a significant increase in the criminal activity associated with it. Oregon stands, as Director Kroger and I, as the one place apparently in the solar system that has gone to an approach like this. And when you look at the counter arguments in each one, those arguments were made in Oregon. They have not been shown to be reflected in the facts, and I look forward to working with you, with all of our witnesses, and I hope that given the extraordinary record you've had, Madam Chair, on this meth issue, that as we keep plugging, so to speak, we can plug what I think is the most significant loophole out there today, and that is that you cannot, in most parts of the country, take advantage of a system like Oregon's has, and Oregon has made a difference. So I look forward to working with you.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you, as always.